Salutations, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. V back with another casted game of Age of Empires 3. And once again, dear viewers, the flu bug has waylaid me from maintaining my regular upload schedule, so I apologize for the delay in getting our next game out, but to make up for it, the next week or so, we are going to be doubling up on uploads, getting out as many games as we can as an apology for my absence. But here we are on the Horns of Africa, following Link Skywalker in the amazing astronaut explorer skin, which I just love it. Look at this. Oh, I can listen to that all day. But he is going to pick up what looks to be a 60 coin treasure. Very nice for him. And we're going to be paying attention to Mr. Link quite a bit this game. But let me introduce our players first. In the north of the map, playing in the color blue as the United States, we have Captain Link, otherwise known as Jimmy. I don't usually like doing the same civilization 2 uploads in a row, but after you see this build order, you are going to see why I just had to do this game. And in the south of the map, playing in the color red as the Germans, which are definitely not one of the best civs in the game. They are a garbage tier civ, as any real player will tell you. We have Mr. Tim Reddick, who is quite a high-level player. I believe he's somewhere around the 1800 ELO level. But doing very standard German things. I like his market placement here, kind of protecting his coin mine, although there might be a little bit of a gap for the units to rush in. Now, we are going to be focusing mainly on Captain Link because I want you guys to see just how crazy his build is. I have no idea how viable it is because I do not play United States, but it is a lot of fun to watch. So we are going to be paying extra careful attention to the cards he sends. He started with Chinese immigrants, which, in case you don't know, it will send you 1 trading post rickshaw, and it will allow the trading posts to recruit more trading posts. So he's getting 1 down here and here, and he already has 2 trading posts very, very early on, along with this native post, which you do not see 3 posts go up that early. And because of that wealth of XP, he's going to use his second card to send Advanced Saloon, which now counts as a population capacity building, and it allows the saloons to be built at a higher limit. So you can now build 2 more saloons than you could previously, which normally you can only build 1 saloon/tavern, which makes very powerful, very expensive mercenary units, but now we can build 3. So that, along with native trading posts, which he's camping over at this one as well. So I think he's going to put down a 4th trading post and already has a 3rd card. We are 3 minutes in. He just clicked up to the second age with Pennsylvania, and he already has a 3rd card. Ladies and gentlemen, this is incredible. Meanwhile, Tim Reddick looks like he's going to be getting down his first trading post because he did go with a market start rather than a TP start. And very, very standard stuff for Germany. He's over halfway aged. He's going to beat out Captain Link. He sent his 2 settler wagons. His deck is very standard, looking very fortress aged in orientation. Don't know why I said it like that. But again, going back to America, he's going to probably have 2 shipments stacked up here. He does now have the 4th trading post down, another native post. This one has Quiz, I have no idea how to say those. And then the other native post is actually what is it? Oh, it's Somali. Okay. So he might be going for some Isa warriors or maybe some militia. I have no idea. I don't know. I just saw the build and I focused on the card progression and I thought to myself, well, I have to show this to the world. He is now building a trading post rickshaw. So you can see that those trading posts actually create carts that can build more trading posts, and going to be getting his 5th trading post at the 4-minute 45 mark, which is just incredible. Now he's immediately following up with Arkansas Post, which ships 3 trading post wagons, and it allows market saloons and meeting houses to all be built. So he is probably not going to be using those wagons to build trading posts because he has no more spots to use them for. But he could use them to get saloons. Then following it up with Philadelphia Convention and now making Hussar because he did build a stable. Meanwhile, Germany, once again, doing very standard Germany things. We have the stable, we have the 700 wood, we have Uhlans in progress, and 700 coin is going to be coming out any minute now, also getting the 3 settler wagons. So Germany going for very standard Germany because Germany is very strong. And if you believed me when I said that Germany was a weak civ, well, no, they're actually very, very powerful. But 3 saloons going down. We have the Late Saloon, we have Leary's Lizard Lounge, and we have Cuesta's Cantina. What are they going to be building? I have no idea, ladies and gentlemen. It's going to be crazy to see. But we do have 5 Hussars on the map and 4 Uhlans on the map. No, make that 6 Uhlans. And this could definitely be a precarious fight for the Americans. He's got some villagers pretty spread out here on the hunts. And we'll see if Reddick pushes in. He is going to take this fight. Let's see who has the better Cav micro. And right now, it looks like Reddick was not paying attention, taking a lot of unnecessary damage from those Hussars. I think he was just sending them on a patrol. He was not expecting to run into those Hussars. But now, most of the Uhlans coming down thanks to a lot of that free damage and 4 Hussars staying alive. So a very significant win in the Cav fight for Captain Link. And he's going to follow that up by sending Scottish immigrants, because of course, which it ships 1 Highlander for each saloon, meeting house, or trading post you own. So we could get up to 10 very powerful musketeer units, and then he's going to send Virginia General Assembly because this guy is swimming in XP, which is going to give him his state capital. So let's see, he's got 1, 2, 3. That is 3, and then he has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So he's going to get up to 8 Highlanders here. Also going with a church, because why not? And now we even see a villager pick off, but now the Uhlans are really starting to come out in force, and Wrecked is going up to the Fortress Age. He's got to be close if he's not already aged up. No. Deciding to make Doppelsodners. Okay, this is an interesting play for Tim. I don't know if it is the right call. I think just going up to age 3 is the more powerful strategy for Germany. And now I like what Captain Link is doing here, using these remaining Hussar to pull away Tim's big batch of Cav and protect his settlers as his build continues to progress. But the Doppelsodners do have pretty good siege damage. They're going to start attacking this native post. And now we see 700 coin on the way for Germany. So probably going to follow that up with an age up. But now we have 10 Highlanders, which will absolutely wipe out this army and maybe even these Cav. They are so strong. And the state capital wagon now coming down. The Hussars are actually in a really good spot. The Uhlans are really bunched up here and going to take a lot of damage from the Highlanders. Really nice building placement here from Captain Link to defend his infantry. And now we even see the sharpshooters coming out, which will do even more damage to the Doppelsodners. So a very small but very powerful army from the American player here. And now is sending native treaties. And that is going to give him a shipment of native warriors from every trading post he has, which is 1 and 2. So he's going to be now getting even more reinforcements if this trading post can stay up, which it will. And what is he going to get? He's going to get some things I can't pronounce. He's going to get some Somalis and some Darud militia. So going to have a very mixed army here. And its strength is one that I can't really interpret, because how often do you see sharpshooters, a bunch of native warriors, and Highlanders in an America build? Not usually is the answer to that question. But now some more Uhlan raids here by Tim. I like what Tim is doing here. He's trying to keep the pressure on the United States player. Currently 21 vills for the United States, 24 for Tim. And I hope, yes, okay, Tim is now clicked up to the 3rd age. So that's going to be really good for him. I think the best way to fight this out is get to the 3rd age and get those very powerful shipments. Maybe even follow up with some mercenaries of your own. Send the Hessian Jaegers to deal with the Highlanders. But now has 2 trading posts. One is definitely going to be under threat here. These Highlanders are going to rip that trading post down very quickly. And meanwhile, Jimmy also on his way to the 3rd age with Kentucky, now sending Tammany Festival, which ships 1 native embassy travois, and it allies you with the Cree. Are we going to be seeing some Cree trackers here as well? Ladies and gentlemen, what am I looking at here? What is this build, Captain Link? Jimmy, What are you doing, sir? Most unorthodox. Oh, man. Meanwhile, Germany could not be playing this more standard. We see 8 skirms coming out. We see the age up. Really, the only thing that he's done that is not usual German is making the Doppelsonders in the transition, which they haven't been entirely useful. But he did ship 3 Doppelsonders as well. So there has been a little bit of a divergence in the German build, and I mean, those Doppelsonders are going to provide a lot of siege, but against Highlanders and sharpshooters, and now some, what do we got here? We have some militia, which are also light infantry, and some hussar coming out as well. Gonna be tough here for the German army. I think it's definitely outscaled, especially by these mercenaries. And now here it comes, the big engagement, and those Ulan do not stand a chance against all of this anti-infantry, but he does have a decent amount of skirmishers. If he can target the Highlanders, he might have a chance here, especially since he has, oh no, he doesn't have veteran Ulans yet. That is going to be a huge blow. Get those Doppelsonders in, protect the skirms. Oh, but now we see the infantry for the US player really targeting those Doppelsonders, and those Doppelsonders will go down very quickly, not getting the Ulans engaged because he knows he will lose them so quickly to this much anti-cav. But now the hussars are bunched up on the skirmishers, and the skirmishers taking a ton of damage here. Tim, what are you doing, buddy? Meanwhile, the Gatling guns are on the way for America, and it does look like the German player is starting to be pushed back off of his gold mine, which is going to be critical for Germany as they need lots of gold in the Third Age, and the German army getting pushed back farther and farther. Veteran Ulans coming out, but I think it's a little bit too much, or too little, too late. In come the Gatling guns, out come the militia. And the American army is just unstoppable. It's got Minutemen, it's got sharpshooters, it's got Highlanders, it's got Gatling guns, and the German army is ill-equipped to deal with this composition. The Doppelsonders will get minced. There's not enough skirmishers here after that huge number of casualties from the original batch, and the villagers are now under threat. The wood line is getting destroyed. A lot of vills pent up in the town center. There is nothing to kill the Gatling guns, and that is the game, ladies and gentlemen, a 12-minute quandary. I don't know how else to say it. What a fun American build from CptLink. Now, it is a bit slow, and the progression does require you to have a map with lots of trading posts, so definitely don't try this on a map that does not have those things. Short rush distance also helped him out a lot. Germany did not have a lot of room to retreat, so the Horns might be the perfect map for this kind of build. Now, if Germany had gone straight to Age 3 and gotten a much bigger Fortress Age batch out when the push happened, I think they might have been able to hold it, especially you saw the damage that those skirmishers were doing, but the fact that he didn't have veteran Ulan and the fact that he invested so much in these Doppelsonders that didn't really accomplish much, I think that was the death nail for the German player. But let's look at the details in more depth. Follow me into the post game. All right, ladies and gentlemen, here we are in the post game, starting as we always do with the resources tab. About a 2,000 resource difference, and we do see that Tim had the better economy because of his slight Vil lead and his very efficient settler wagons, but the tail of the tape was in the military unit discretion. Now, we do see a slight advantage for CptLink, but when we go to population, we do see that Tim actually held the population advantage for most of the game until the very end there when his military was crumpled. But in terms of quality, we definitely see that it was CptLink with his very powerful mercenaries and his native warriors that had the better army, especially when the Gatling guns joined the fray. And we can even see the villager population. Tim did have quite a big advantage there for a while there. He had about 10 more villagers. So again, this US build, this fun trading post build, kind of like the rush we looked at last time, it's very, very taxing on the economy, but it gets out a very, very powerful composition relatively early. So that is another fun US build, 2 United States builds in a row. But I definitely think they are builds that can be countered as long as you play well. And I really do think if Tim had gone up to the third age, he hadn't stopped to build Doppelsodners, he had just sat back, sent his 700 gold, and aged, he would have had a much better chance of holding off that push. And if he had held off that push, just like Portuguese last time, he would have won the game because CptLink's economy would have been in the dumpster. So I hope you guys enjoyed that casted game. Again, sorry for the delay, but a ton more uploads coming soon to make up for it. Until then, guys, have a great day. Have a great life. See you later.